Lightning round. It's Q&A. We're going to have questions and answers. Rapid fire. All right. Okay, good. So, yeah, it's definitely say my name. So, we'll just have him muted till it's time for him to talk. And if I don't forget to unmute him, somebody help. Somebody help. Because we be having technical difficulties that are mostly user error. Because, yeah.
And I'm
So,
sorry, I
yeah,
didn't really
we will.
hear how you say the rounds are supposed to go.
Oh, no worries. So, we'll recap. Round one, state your vantage point. So you will say what your premise is on today's topic. All right. So yes. Do we hear an echo still? And then round two, rebuttal. So you have 3 minutes for the first round. We'll do 3.5 minutes for round two. And then for your closing arguments, round three, we'll do 3.5 up to 5 minutes. You don't have to take the whole 5 minutes. And we've added some extra elements. So people can spin wheels, and that's going to cause what's called a death match. And in this case, you two can talk over each other, go back and forth. We're going to do that for 90 seconds to see who can get the upper hand on the other one. So you see a wheel coming from the comments, it's a death match. And so we're going to have up to 3 of those so it don't get too chaotic. And then also feel free to spin a wheel on the other person. If you want to silence them for 10 seconds, you can spin a wheel and silence your competitor for 10 seconds. And you have to keep talking during that 10 seconds. You can't just wait it out. And so then we will have a final round of just rapid fire questions back and forth, back and forth. We'll have 5 to 10, depending on how long it takes you guys to answer. We're not going to do a time limit, just rapid fire, whatever comes to your head. And no stress, no pressure. When I say rapid fire, I'm just going to ask and then you answer. Take your time to think if you want to. And if you come up with something real quick, that's cool too. And so then after the rapid fire lightning round, the judges will come to give their final discussion on how you did today, what compelling topics you came up with, and they will vote on who won today's debate on Vantage Point with Vixen. And I will only weigh in if there is a tie. Other than that, I will try not to be biased if I have to break the tie. But I mean, who run the world? Just saying. I'm just saying. And so today's topic is a special topic picked by Top Badge Ms. Unique herself. Is it toxic to stay friends with an ex? Is it toxic? I don't know. Do you stay friends with your exes? I don't burn bridges. I drop A-bombs on them, so I really wouldn't know. So let me see. Let's say they hear echo. Let me see. Is there an echo now? So yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of reverb. Just nod your head if you got an iPhone. Ms. Unique, say my name. That's what it is. This app does not play nicely when you have devices interfacing with opposite things. So we're gonna have a little bit of echo, and we just got to deal with it for now. However, I did order a new iPhone, so the next time we record, it should be all good. So does everybody understand the rules of engagement today? All right, phenomenal. Well, before we get started, I would just like to say that, there are some practical reasons why people do stay friends with exes. I did a little research. It turns out sometimes it's practical and you're emotionally secure, so you don't mind being friends with exes. And sometimes you may have things that are tied in together, such as your finances. You may have mutual friends, and you might be mature enough to handle that. And then on the toxic end of that spectrum, you may be friends with that person because you may be holding on to some residual feelings or you have a hidden agenda. But the reality is, if you have not, in this point in your life, had this discussion or argument with a person in a relationship about them or you being friends with your exes, it's going to happen. It's going to happen because at some point, either you or the other party is going to be friends with an ex. It's going to create a problem. You're going to have questions to answer. Well, why are you friends with them? Were you friends beforehand? Why do you need to be friends with them? You must still want them. You know, we ain't going to get into all the levels of toxicity. However, what we are going to do is get this party started. Are my judges ready to weigh in? Pay attention, be listening. Emoji J, Mrs. Emoji J. Are you in the comments ready to listen and weigh in? Mrs. Emoji is here. Mr. Emoji is here. Fantastic. Let's get this party started. And it is ladies first. Yes, Unique. Are you ready to tell us your vantage points?
Yeah, give me one moment.
Yes, ma'am. You just let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
All right. It's always ladies first. You have 3 minutes on the clock. Round one, state your vantage point. Ms. Unique, your time starts now.
Okay, so my points. Being friends with an ex is toxic because it keeps emotional doors open, destabilizes new relationships, and statistically creates the highest risk for cheating. Emotional residual. Breakups don't erase attachments. Staying friends keeps old feelings alive under the surface. Boundary confusion. You can't erase the romantic history. The friendship is built on old intimacy. New partners interact. New partners aren't insecure, but they could be insecure. It can create insecurity. They're reacting to a statistically risky dynamic. Hidden motives. One person almost always wants validation, access, or a chance to rekindle. Delayed healing. You can't detach from someone you're still emotionally checked in with. Um, Infidelity stats. Nearly 47% of people who cheat admit the affair was with an ex who was supposedly just a friend. So that makes ex friendships the number one cheating risk category. If the dynamic were truly harmless, the numbers wouldn't be this high. Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you. Absolutely. You have 2 minutes left.
Okay, that's all I got.
Okay, you make some very great points. So here's my question. Do you think it's predominantly toxic, or do you think it's always toxic? Overall, I mean.
It's toxic.
It's toxic. No hold bar. She said it's toxic. It's definitely toxic. All right. So when you say old intimacy, I assume either you're speaking from experience or you have attempted to remain friends with an ex.
Um, I've tried to be friends with an ex before, and it didn't work out that way, but because they still have feelings and I didn't, but yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. So it seems like there's always friends. There's always a level of intimate feelings on one part or the other. So did that effectively terminate your friendship with that person because you weren't able to be friends while you were in a relationship with someone else or while you were single?
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
We're not
So was
friends
that
anymore.
the only time that happened or have you tried that before?
No, I try not to be friends with my exes.
So you said you have tried to be friends with your
I
exes?
try not to be.
Oh, you trying not to, girl. I'm the same way. Well, I certainly appreciate it. So we've got 10 seconds left. And I would just ask this. Why do you think you're going to defeat Top Bag Say My Name today? Let them know, girl.
I don't think I will. I'm not really a good debater.
Well, she said we just gonna keep it friendly. I'm gonna state the fact that y'all make a decision. Great job, Ms. Unique. I think you did stellar. Phenomenal. Well researched. Good points. All right, say my name. Are you ready for round one? State my vantage point.
So I'm not really ready for round one. I thought we was gonna be talking about something completely different. I had my
Well,
notes
you
set up
let
for
me
something
know when
completely
you're
different.
ready so I can put your 3 minutes on the clock.
I guess I'm as ready as can be.
He said
I'm
he
here.
is ready. All right. Round one. Start your vantage point. Your time starts right now.
Um, I feel like sometimes you can't be friends with exes because exes set you up to do silly things and stuff like that. That's kind of almost all I got to say about that. I'm kind of I don't I'm really wasn't ready. I thought we was the topic of something else.
He didn't get the update for the new topic.
Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't get the update on the new topic?
No, I didn't. And this is a topic that I really really not comfortable discussing.
You say you're not comfortable with discussing?
No, because I'm not really ready and prepared to discuss that type of
Oh,
topic.
I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that you didn't have the updated topic. I apologize for that. I thought you got the update on what the topic was going to be about.
Nope.
Gotcha. Well, that's okay. We'll pivot. I can either ask you some questions or you can present what you did research today. And we won't
You
make
can
it
ask me some questions.
competitive.
Now you can ask some questions.
Okay. So have you ever attempted to be friends with an ex?
Yes, I have.
How did it work out for you?
Very amazing. Very, very amazing. Yeah, let
Wow,
me
it was amazing. So that's
yeah,
polar
so
opposite of your experience with Miss Unique. Can you elaborate on that? Why were you able to stay friends with that ex, and are you still friends with them now?
no, I'm not still friends with him now because the toxic relationship that I was in destroyed that friendship.
Oh, so a toxic relationship. Is this a friendship that you think one day you would like to renew, or is it just water under the bridge at this point?
It's water under the bridge. It was renewed a couple of times.
Gotcha. So let me ask you this. Do you think overall it's toxic to remain friends with an ex while you're in a relationship? Or do you think it depends on the maturity of the parties involved?
It depends on the maturity of the parties involved. Some people too immature
Gotcha.
for that.
Um, and then I hate to bring the sexes into it, but we all know that people tend to think women are more emotional than men. Men think more logically. Beg to differ. However, do you think that women cause the problem when it comes to being friends with exes, or do you think it's more the man?
It's always the women.
It's always the women. It's so crazy because I tend to think that men, when they become emotionally attached, are more emotional than women. So, like the example that Miss Unique set forth, where she attempted to be friends with an ex, but he couldn't let go of the emotional attachment that caused problems. When men get emotionally invested, they are literally all the way invested, is what I tend to think. Do you agree with that or no?
So I don't agree with that.
Don't
I
agree?
agree with men. Yeah, men can shut down at any time. Women,
Wait,
they
say that
emotional
one
from
more
start
time.
to
I didn't
beginning.
hear it.
I said men can shut down at any time. Women are emotional from start to beginning. I mean, from start to end.
Gotcha. You know what? That is a valid point. Women are emotionally available and accessible throughout the duration of a relationship, whether it's a friendship, romantic relationship, familiar relationships. And men have to get to that point to become invested. Other than that, they be cold blooded. All
Hmm.
right. And that is your time. Thank you so much for pivoting on that. I think you both did a really great job, and I appreciate you so much. I'm sorry you didn't got that information. It's a work in progress. We're gonna figure it out. All right,
Hmm.
judges, if you would, Mrs. Emoji J, please request the box. And Mr. Emoji J, we're gonna read you in the comments, darling. Let's talk about what Ms. Unique said that was fantastic. Points that Say My Name said that were also fantastic. So I know you say you're a little bit nervous, Miss Unique. Did you shake it off? Because you did really
No.
well. No, you just faking it. All right, Mrs. Emoji J, if you would request a box, please. And while we're waiting for her to hop back in and also say my name, we got to get you back up in this box too. All right, so say my name if you will. Please request a box as well. Mrs. Emoji J, a lady who needs no introduction, formerly and still currently really Beauty and the Beat. Now, Mrs. Emoji J, because she found love in a lost place on this app. Beat, is it not Beauty and the Beat?
No, it's Beauty and the Breakdown, but
Oh my God, why?
honestly, I get called Beauty and the Beast more times than
No,
not.
I said Beauty and the Beat, but you know why it is? It's because I love music so much. I just instead of Beauty and the Breakdown, I decided it was Beauty and the Beat because that's where my 808 actually comes from. Is from the TR 808 beat machine. I was like, I saw your name. I was like, oh, Beauty and the Beat. She must love music like me. I'm dead. Anyway, moving on. Mrs. Emoji J, can you deliver it a little bit for us? We've had to pivot a little bit because Say My Name did not get the updated topic. So we'll just say what points they made that were stunning and phenomenal, and we will not have a competitive deliberation at the end. We'll just weigh in on the topics at hand and the points they brought forth.
I This is gonna make it really hard to like judge both of them because I agree with both sides. Because in the past I have been friends with exes, not currently, but I do agree that like the emotional attachment. If you try to still be friends with exes, it can just cause some tension in the long run for other relationships that you or the
Yeah.
other have. So I kind of agree with Unique more on her points.
They did make some good points.
Yeah.
I personally think being friends with your ex requires a level of emotional maturity that
Mhm.
I have not accessed yet. I don't know that I ever will. I am a certified bridge burner. I'll be dropping A bombs on them bad boys, and then I move on with my life. So it's for me. It's not even that I agree with one premise more than the other. It's just that my experience has been so much more Ms. Unique's experience with exes that I've just decided to stop trying at this point because, girl, these men, they just be so emotionally invested in you, they can't let go. Or they just can't let go. It's so crazy because, like, say my name said, women are emotional from the beginning to the end. But that's because we emotionally invest in you up front. If we have decided to be in a relationship with you, whether that is to be your friend, your romantic partner, if we chose you to be in our lives, we're emotionally invested immediately. Men can have a million associates and they don't consider them friends. And if you call them, they ain't coming for you on the side of the road. Once they're invested, they're in there, but it just takes a while for them to get invested. All right, what say you, Emoji J? Emoji J said, I'm friends with one current ex and she's friends with her too. Oh, that is interesting. Is that a true statement, Mrs. Emoji
Yes,
J?
that
Wow.
is a true statement.
Wow. That's amazing. I'm trying to think. No, I've never been able to do it. I was gonna say I'm trying to think of because my longest past relationship was with my daughter's father, and I was not able to be friends with any of his exes, but we were so young at the time. We were boyfriend and girlfriend from the time we were 16. And you don't have the emotional maturity at 16. And so then by the time we had my daughter at 20, we'd been together during that duration. And I mean, nobody's that mature at 20, let's face it. So I wasn't able to be friends with any of his exes, and I had him low key cut all of them off because I'm toxic. And then the only other serious relationship I was in is with my ex husband, and I ended up being friends with his exes because he actually lied to me about their relationships. So I don't think that that is healthy. I think you have to be open and honest and let that person make a decision as to whether they not wants to be friends with your ex. As I don't mind someone else being friends with their ex. I'm not a jealous, hearted person, but for you to bring that person in my space and then not tell me that, oh, we used to be involved romantically, to me that's problematic. What are you hiding? So I assume you knew that this person was his ex. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's healthy. I like that. I love that for y'all. All right, say my name. Are you in the guest box, my darling? Let's get you back up here. All right, Mrs. Emoji J, are you going to
He's not
stay
coming.
in
He
or are
doesn't
you
want
going
to
to?
talk about this topic.
I'm sorry.
He doesn't want to discuss this topic, I don't think.
So Miss Emoji
No,
J,
I
are you
don't
going
want
to
to be shut
stay
up.
in
I don't
to
want to be shut
listen or are
up
you
by
going to pop
people.
into the comments? All right, there we go. All right, say my name. I am currently locked out. I did see you message me, but I'm currently locked out. So, are you? Sorry, I need to mute this call coming in on my device. Can you hear me still?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So say my name. Are you comfortable moving forward with this topic or no?
We can go ahead. I signed up for the show.
Well, listen, I appreciate you. Like I said, I did think that you did get the update on the topic. I do apologize for that.
No, somebody else should have
So
updated me on the
for the
topic too. The
second
person
round,
who
we'll
changed it.
do say again.
I said somebody else could have updated me on the topic too. The person who actually changed the topic because I talked to them earlier. So,
Gotcha. Yeah, no worries. Well, I appreciate you for sticking around so we can finish up the show today. So we'll proceed the same way we did previously. If you have things that you want to interject to talk about, that's cool. And then if you want to do Q&A, then that's cool as well, because the final round will just be rapid fire Q&A, fun stuff. So, all
hmm
right, Miss Unique, this
anything
is
to win, right,
round
Nick?
two. Say again, say my name.
I said anything to win, right, Nick?
There you go. All right, now Miss Unique has disappeared. Oh no. Well, we usually do ladies first, but we'll let you do the second round first. So did you have some prepared or did you want to do Q&A again for the second round?
I don't have anything prepared at all.
No worries.
I was
No
prepared for
worries.
the
That's
argument. So,
okay. I got you. I got your back. All right, so we're gonna do 3.5 minutes. Time starts now. So one of the reasons um people say that they professionals, I should say, not people, but people with PhDs in family psychology, Psychology Today, other resources online that are reputable, say that many couples stay in contact because their lives are just deeply intertwined. Once you've shared assets, pets, even co parenting responsibilities, or you have mutual friend groups, where cutting ties would cause massive losses for one or more parties, or would just cause an upheaval of your life. Um, People just tend to try to be mature and stay friends. What are your thoughts on that?
I believe that's true. I was just in that situation where I was trying to be friends, just trying to be friends with somebody um, on a very mature level, on a business minded level. But
So you have
uh,
business dealings involved with tied up with this person.
yeah,
Gotcha. So another reason that various and sundry resources say that breakups can be jarring if you don't remain friends is because of your emotional history together, and then also because you have emotional security. So, like you were saying, there's a certain level of emotional maturity involved in having to be friends with an exes. So, have you found, not necessarily with that person in particular, but with exes in general, that your support systems that you have built together are only able to stay intact if you remain friends with that person?
yeah, it's almost like um with a child's parent. Like if you got a baby mama or baby daddy, y'all should stay friends because that way the kids can grow up emotionally intact. Other family
You know,
members, cousins,
yeah,
stepmoms, mom-in-laws, and all of that.
yeah. I can certainly speak to that. Me and my daughter's father, it was my formative years. It was both of our first serious relationship. I had my daughter when I was 20. We really tried for many, many years to stay friends. And I think what broke us was me deciding to get married. And so once that happened, it was something triggered in his mind that, oh, wow, this is really over. And he called a mutual friend of ours who let me know that he was upset, heartbroken, because when I told him about it, I told him in person when I was bringing my daughter to visit him for the week. It was during the summer, and he acted and talked in a very mature manner as if he understood. He asked me, well, what made you say yes to him? You said no to me. And I was honest with him. But honestly, thereafter, things really started to escalate. He started to try to make excuses to see me. He was asking me to bring my daughter to see him and then stay, the weekend with him. And I'm like, um, no. Even asked me to be his date to an event for work and tried to bill it as a good networking opportunity for me. And so I blocked him from my email. And then when he started calling, I would put him directly on the phone with my daughter, and he would never even ask to see her. And so he tried for probably 18 months to get me to leave my husband, come move away with him, find a job in a bigger market with him. And, when all that shut down, he literally didn't call me for 2 years. He didn't even call to see if his daughter was breathing. So some people do make it quite impossible for you to remain friends. All right. So another reason they say is genuine platonic connection. So even though the romantic spark fades, you still have a closeness and a friendship with this person. This has been the person you have been talking with every day. You've been sharing your hopes, dreams, aspirations, and failures. And so if the relationship ends amicably, that's something that you want to hold on to as long as you haven't been betrayed. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, as long as you ain't been betrayed, and then sometimes even if you did be betrayed, because some people, cause like I said, some people act off emotions and they do things because they're hurt, and the only reason they do things because they hurt is because of how much they care about you. So sometimes betrayal adds up to love, but that is also toxic. So, but yeah, I agree.
I'll be
I,
honest with you, say this is really saying more about you and your character than it is about the topic. Because what I'm gathering from you is that you are a very forgiving person.
am.
You're a person that tries to stay interconnected with the people they care about, sometimes at great personal loss. So
I
I
do.
respect that. That's very, very mature of you. I love that.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you. I
and
appreciate
that is time. And so sad. We lost top batch Miss Unique. She has tapped out. She's giving you the game, even though I said it wasn't going to be competitive. So, Mrs. Emoji J, if you want to pop in and make comments on our previous discussion, that is cool. You can request a box now. And then Mr. Emoji J, I see you in the comments, dear. That is sad, Shinezilla. It is sad. And then Shine, if you want to pop in and weigh in, that is cool as well. Mrs. Emoji J, request a box, please, ma'am. All right, for those of you just joining us, this is a feature show loading. This is Vantage Point with Vixen 808. So week after week, every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will have two competitors, a man versus a female, giving their perspective on the topic of the week. And then we'll also have two judges to see who won the debate. And today, sadly, Tabash Say My Name's competitor who challenged him has dropped out of the runnings. He's a winner by default. Shazilla, did you want to weigh in on that last round where we discussed relationships and whether or not it could be toxic?
Yeah, relationships can be toxic if communications is not proper. But also some people
You
don't
said
know
if
how to.
communications do not what?
If the communication is not proper.
Yes, absolutely.
But
Communication is
but
key. Go ahead.
also a lot of people do not know how to communicate. So it's like me personally, if I'm hurt and I'm mad, I'm not gonna, I'll give you a short, brief da 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 da, and then let me process my thoughts, and then I'll come back later and give the reason and can we talk about it? Because sometimes when I'm like hurt and upset and mad, my words won't come out right, and I've learned that that ruins it further than just being quiet until you're over the emotion, and then you
Right.
process the thought, then you talk about it to the extent where everybody is in understanding, because I feel like that saves relationships more.
Communication saves relationships, guys. So it's not really a judging situation, Mrs. Emoji J, since we didn't have a competition and then we kind of tapped out on the competing after the first round when we didn't know that Say My Name didn't have the topic. So it's more weighing in on the discussion that we had and what your thoughts are. So thank you, Shinezilla. I appreciate it. You know what? I will say this. I don't know how old you are, Shine, but I will say I do appreciate that I kind of have a grown and sexy crowd. We're a little bit older, we're a little bit more mature, and we can have adult conversations. So anybody that's here on a regular basis knows that every day I have a relationship-based topic. And that was the impetus of this show, is that we're already talking it out. And so let's introduce the feature show concept and have a platform where we kind of duke it out on who's right and wrong. Because we'll go all night. We'll just have a full box and go all night. And the thing I've noticed is it's always the men have one opinion, the women have another. So I said, ooh, let's have a debate and really figure out who's making the best, most valid points. And more than that, it's not really about who wins. It's really about opening your mind to thought processes, emotional intellect, things that you never thought about before. Because Say My Name saying that he's been able to and has put forth so much effort to remain friends with exes, that says a lot about him as a person. But it also says that, hey, there are emotionally intelligent men out there. Because I'll be honest with you, I am very base when it comes to men. I'll give you no chances. I give you one, and then you're out. You ain't got to say but one toxic thing for me, and you're blocked. I was having a conversation with a gentleman yesterday, and he cut me off, and then he raised his voice, and I hung up, and he called me back, and I hung up again, and he texted me, and he said, just like that, I said, do not contact me again, and I blocked him. Because for me, at 42 years old, when I've told you 5 times, I told him literally 5 times, being cut off is my pet peeve. And he did it again. And then he raised his voice at me. I'm like, oh, no. Red flag. I've only known you for so long, and you're already showing me who you are. Maya Angelou said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. And that was my failure with my daughter's father, who was a cheater, unfortunately. And he showed me that early on. And it also was my flaw with my ex-husband, who showed me he was hostile, aggressive, and an abuser. Emotionally, psychologically, physically, he was a gaslighter. He was a narcissist before narcissism became a buzzword. I was like, wow, that's exactly what he did to me. He love bombed me. And then when I was feeling real great about myself, he tore me down. He'd build me up in public and say how great I was. As soon as we got home, he's tearing me down, telling me what an awful person I am. The house was never clean enough. I was never thin enough. I literally cut my hair off recently. It was down to here as an act of rebellion because I went to church service and he was telling me how beautiful I looked with my long hair, how he always wanted me to grow out. I was like, oh no, you gotta go. And then I bleached it and then it was blue. And now I'm back to my natural color. We're growing it back out because I liked it long too. And I can't go being immature and making decisions based on a man, whether it's good or bad in between. I can't make my decisions for myself based on what a man thinks. I was like, man, that was very immature.
I'll say one thing. First of all, women always attack our hair. Anytime it's something, we either tatted ourselves up or we're attacking our hair. Period.
Exactly. Oh Lord. Well, did you have anything to add before we move on? Say My Name. We're gonna give you another 3.5 minutes, and then Shanzilla, did you want to participate and have 3.5 minutes too? It's more gonna be okay. Fantastic. I appreciate that. And then Mrs. Emoji J, did you want to weigh in the box on commentary? I know you've been weighing in the comments as well. Just let me know, and you can request the box, my love. We can, sometimes you just gotta pivot. Things happen live, and you just gotta pivot and keep it moving. All right. Did you have anything you wanted to add? Say My Name before we move on.
Oh no, I love hearing y'all talk about it. I love hearing you talk about it.
Look, I have a lot to say on every topic, because you haven't noticed. I'm very opinionated, which is why I wanted to get some other people's opinions, because I'm quite sure everybody's tired of hearing me run my mouth. Like I know
I'll
everything.
say one thing. I'll say one thing before we move on. Me personally, I'm friends with all my exes. And I'm not saying we talk every day or every month or have each other's number, but we do have some form of contact if need be. But except for two. Two of them hate my guts. And that's their problem, not mine, right? Fact. So I
Right.
do
Sounds like a
believe,
damn thing.
especially if you have kids, me and my baby's dad, we literally co-parent the life out of my child as if we lived in the same home. That's how deep it was. So I want to give big up to my baby's dad, but he is a little bit older than me. I'm 45 and he's like 55. So with him being a little bit older than me, he taught me how to co-parent, and you know what I'm saying? And it was a blended family. So his other baby's mom was a little bit older than me as well. So she taught me how to be a stepmom, and also to do this co-parenting thing. So if you have 3 mature people, you all can raise these children together and properly so they can succeed in life. So I want to give big ups to my baby's dad and his other baby's moms because we did that. Let's go.
Well, you know what? I love that for you. But when I had my daughter, we were both 20. We're the same age. She was born in August of the same year I was born. I was born in November. We didn't know what we were doing. Co-parenting was not a thing. Co-parenting was us having grown-up sleepovers and trying to make things happen that just didn't work in our relationship and certainly weren't working then. You know, we were young and we thought we were in love and we were in lust. And I'm gonna be honest with you, for the first 3 years, well, no, the first year after our breakup, we couldn't stop going back to each other. Like, no relationship we ever had could compare to each other. Like, it was toxic. And so finally, after about a year, I made the decision to just be celibate. And I was like, you know what? I just can't do this anymore because I knew that that level of intimacy, emotionally, physically, and then the fact that we had a child together kept drawing us in together. And it didn't help that we were in the same career field. I was a newspaper journalist. He was a TV journalist. And literally, the businesses were owned by 2 brothers who you could walk into the alley of the newspaper and end up at the front door of the TV station. And we would meet at the old renovated theater next door to shoot pool. Like, this is so unhealthy, especially being that he started dating his co-anchor. And the poor girl just didn't stand a chance because we have a child together and we're literally stumbling out the doors to go shoot pool together every night. The poor girl loved this guy, didn't stand a chance. And then she got in my DMs on social media and she was like, oh, I thought we should be friends since, we're starting to get serious. I was like, oh, yeah, thanks for informing me. You're starting to get serious. I'll be sure not to let him spend the night at my house tonight like he did last night. So there went that relationship. And one of my relationships ended much the same way on his end. We were toxic, girl. And so after 2 years of celibacy, we was big toxic. So after 2 years of celibacy and him moving whole states away, I finally met my husband and had an opportunity to develop a relationship on a level that my ex was not engaged in my relationship. And even thereafter, he was toxic because he was like, oh, so you've been sleeping with him the whole time. You're marrying him. I was like, no, we literally met in February and we're just getting married now. I don't know what to tell you. I waited till marriage. He was a virgin. I don't know what to tell you. He wanted closure on a matter that really had nothing to do with him. So, I don't know what to tell. I just, to this day, I still don't know what to tell him. He does not believe me. And unfortunately, my exes don't hate me. My 2 exes, every time I talk to them, want me back. It is a problem because I move forward, not backward. I don't live my life looking in the rearview mirror. And no, we're not going to go there. I don't care how much he has matured and grown. I love that for you. You use that growth and maturity in your next relationship. Vixen 808 will be moving on. All right. If you are just joining us, this is Feature Show Loading Vantage Point with Vixen 808. And feature show rules do apply. Keep it PG and grown, but not that grown because we don't want to discuss topics that are too adults and we don't want no substances or grown up language. So keep it cute, keep it clean. We'll be here every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mark your calendar, show up. And if you would like to be a guest or a judge, please reach out to Mrs. Emoji J or Mr. Emoji J. You will see them in the comments. Like them, favorite them, follow them on Instagram so you can DM them. Also follow and favorite Say My Name and Shinezilla. They both have feature shows on the app. You can go be on their shows too because we love it there. And you can just join us because we are a family who loves each other. So please feel free to join in anytime. All right. Mrs. Emoji J, did you have anything else that you wanted to add? I see you saying that you can apply that to friendships as well. What specifically were you talking about applying that to friendships? Because I missed that comment to begin with. So you can apply that to friendships as well. I think a lot of the things that, while she's responding to that, but I think a lot of the things that we've said today, you can apply toward your friendships. Shine knows this. We just had a big conflict in our friend group just on this app. And I don't know how everyone else feels, but when I engage in a relationship on this app, we're friends in real life. I got your back. It's not just an app situation where I turn the app off and you're dead to me. If I emotionally invest in a person, it's not an app relationship. This is a real life, ride or die, I got your back relationship. Whatever that takes, whether that's emotional support, whether that's fielding phone calls in the middle of the night, breakups, baby mama, baby daddy drama. I'm with you, and I have suffered the consequences for that, in various and sundry ways, both tangible and intangible, because just everybody just ain't for you. But the beautiful thing about it is, as Say My Name said, when you are emotionally mature, you can move forward, you can stay friends, or even like the friendship he was talking about with an ex, you can reignite that friendship. People grow, people mature. Some people you just need to eliminate from your life. They need to be dead to you. That's how my ex-husband is. I needed him to be dead to me only so I could move on with my life. I literally went back to him twice. I divorced him in 2012 and went back in 2015 and 2019. It was the third time was not a charm. It got worse and worse progressively every time. And the love bombs got stronger, baby. Be ready. Be ready.
Listen, I unalive every dude I break up with for at least 6 months, and then I bring them back to life. That's just and then look,
Oh,
yes,
Lord.
you're absolutely right. And I will say that's why I was like, you know what? That's the homie. Get out your feelings. Go mean what you say what you mean. And that's why I'm here. Let's go.
Yes, let's go. So Mrs. Emoji J says, friendships can be toxic just as much as a relationship, and more so, because I think we tend to let people emotionally in with friendships more so than relationships. We guard ourselves from relationships. We're not guarded from our friends. We're not ready for them to stab us in the back or in the front, And Mrs. Emoji J said, I've learned the hard way in the last few months. And she said, great job, Say My Name. You're such a mature man. We love that for you. We're gonna get you I don't know. Are you single? I don't know. I was gonna say we're gonna get you a girl. I don't know. You might not be looking. But look, we got a lot of emotionally mature people. Beer Raider says she is friends with her ex. I wish I could do it. Unfortunately, my exes, I only really have two, and unfortunately they want me back. I can't be friends with them because I wouldn't be able to move on. I can't move forward in a relationship I had to block them literally on my anniversary. This will be my 19th anniversary because my ex-husband was blocked. He had my sons call me and tell me happy anniversary. I was like, Lord, what is happening? I was like, why are you calling me? They said, well, Dad told us to call you and tell you happy anniversary. I said, for what? They said, well, we asked him the same thing. And he said, well, we're not dead yet. I said, Lord, he can't get through to me. So he got y'all as a third party, and they're teenage boys. They can't tell their dad, no, we're not going to do that, Dad. It's toxic. So they're calling me, telling me happy anniversary. And I'm like, you don't even know when our anniversary was. You were two. They're like, yeah, he told us to call. I'm like, Lord Jesus. Because he did this last year on our anniversary, he emailed me. And I ended up blocking him from my email. And I changed my phone number. I changed my phone number like I'm the plug and I'm running from the popo because I don't even want him to have it. Oh, it is weird behavior.
You gotta get a throwaway.
It is weird behavior. Mrs. Beard Raider says most of my exes have tried to come back, and I said no, 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 no. But is it really yes, 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 yes? She said, I'm in my Amy Winehouse voice. Oh, I was doing the wrong one. I was doing Destiny's Child. He said they tried to come back, but I said no, no, no.
I only got one ex that I'll holler back on, and that I do holler back on like That's it. All the rest of them, nah. But that one, yeah.
Mhm.
Just because.
I feel that. All right. So for our lightning round Q&A, we're gonna skip round 3. I think we've had quite enough discussion on the topic. So questions. Say my name. This one's for you.
Yeah.
What are your true motives, sir, for attempting to be friends with exes? Because you seem to want to remain friends. What are your real motives, sir?
Um, just having somebody around that kind of knows me.
Say that again.
I said having somebody around that knows me, that I'm comfortable with.
So you've developed a level of intimacy with them um, in a relationship as far as they know you, they know what you like, they know your triggers, they know your
Mhm.
level of emotional maturity, they know what you've been through in life, and you don't want to throw away the baby with the bathwater, is what you're saying.
Right. I mean, if you say you love somebody, if you really say that you care about somebody, how can you just throw them away because y'all not in a relationship?
Mm, I love that. All right, Shinezilla, what about you? You said you have tried to be friends with exes. What are your motives, ma'am?
Like I said, 2 of my exes don't rock with me because I mean it really shouldn't, but the rest of them we cool. My motives is basically, like he said, when you love someone, you know, even though you may love and you can't be in a relationship, that doesn't mean you can't be friends. Like I could smash you in a relationship for years, break up with you and never smash you again, but still genuinely be your friend. So I guess my motive is just like he said, just that somebody who knows you, somebody, if you make a call, they're there, they make a call, you there, just that bond that's unbreakable regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, well,
The next
I am
relationship might
so
not last.
glad for you guys. You're starting to make me feel like I should be a little bit more emotionally mature because I'm a certified bridge burner. And then I feel like once our romantic endeavors are over, then you're dead to me, quite literally. But I also have not had partners who have attempted to only be friends with me. They have always wanted more, and I don't have the bandwidth for that. Because when I'm a monogamist, and I haven't been in very many relationships because when I get in one, I'm all in, literally all in. Everything is commingled. You finna be on my checking accounts. If we finna have insurance together. We finna be planning our vacations. You finna be on my vacation club plan together. I need to know how much money you got in your retirement account, what your credit score is. When I got together, my ex, he had a 511 credit score. They wouldn't even put him on the mortgage. I went about negotiating 2 credit cards that he didn't pay on. I paid him off for 60% off, one of which he had used to buy a ring for his ex fiance. I got a secured credit card with my own money, paid it down every month, spent 30% every month. And then he's so bad with money, he couldn't comprehend that a secured credit card means I had to put my money down first. And he was like, "Well, it's in my name." I'm like, "It's my money though, sir. No, you may not take this card and spend it up and not pay for it like you did everything else." It went so far that for example, he was a teacher and his loans were in default. Well, in the state we were residing in at the time, teachers get their student loans waived. So after 20 years of teaching, it's waived 100%. But every year you have to turn in paperwork both to from your school and get that certified with your superintendent's office saying that you were a full-time active teacher at that time. So I did this literally every single year for him. I treated him like he was my child. And that was the problem. He was so spoiled. And he didn't do even the little things. He didn't pick up after himself. I'm like, the basket is right there. Why did you put it in the floor? I'm not asking you to push no buttons on the washing machine. I'm not asking you to do the dishes, but can the dishes just make it to the kitchen, baby? Can they just get to the sink? can they make it somewhere close to the dishwasher? Why are the shoes in the middle of the floor? Why can't we just put them back where they came from? Like, I'm not understanding. Um, and then also, I would have change at that. Change was a thing back then because vending machines took them. Now you got to use your debit card. So I would always have change like in my car. And, you know, I don't like breaking dollars and stuff. And so at that time, cash was a thing. Nobody's paying cash for anything anymore. We booping with our watches and phones and all that jazz. So I would have all this change in my car. And he would take the change out when he would take my car. And I would go to my car to go get change. I'm like, oh my God, there's no change. So he would take it ruthlessly, without even asking. And then he would take my car, never fill the car up. And I hated pumping gas. I literally paid extra money for gas so that I could go to the only fuel station that was full service. Thank God I moved to New Jersey where girls don't pump. Jersey girls don't pump. But anyways, it was every little thing. And it began to feel like he was trying to sabotage my mental health because I'm a little OCD. I like for things to be very neat and clean, and he was not helping me keep things neat and clean. He was definitely a part of just sabotage. He was a saboteur. And sometimes it's not about what you intentionally do so much as your intention about thinking of the person. So he'd be like, oh, I didn't do that on purpose. I didn't think about it. But that's the problem. When you didn't think about it, you weren't thinking about me. It's not that you were attempting to cause my OCD to flare up till I lose my mind. It's the fact that you didn't think, you know what, my wife likes things a certain way. I should put forth the effort to do this.
You
So
know what my aunt told me?
problems.
My aunt told me at a young age, she said, do not be around, date, or affiliate yourself with people who tolerate you. Affiliate yourself with people who celebrate you because they'll elevate you. So I've always
I love
kept that
that.
in my mind since I was a teenager, and she installed that in all of us
Okay.
growing up. So we always thought a different way,
I love that. All right. Did you have any more comments on that last question before we move on? Say my name.
Oh no, I had no comments on that.
Yeah.
Y'all
I
y'all
think
got
we
it.
have time. Go ahead.
Y'all got it. Y'all got it.
I think we have time for one more question. But before we move on to our final thoughts on today's topic, don't forget to favorite me, Vixen 808, so you can come back and see me every day. Favorite Top Badge, Say My Name. Favorite Shinezilla. This is Vantage Point with Vixen 808 every Monday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you tune into Say My Name's feature show as well, and Shinezilla's feature show. If you would like to be featured as a guest or a judge, you can reach out to Mrs. Emoji J or Emoji J. Reach out to me. Follow us on the gram, and you could be here too to be amidst the debate. Today is more of a discussion than a debate because unfortunately, Say My Name's competitor tapped out. He was so intimidated. She said, no, he's too good at this. I gotta go. So my final question for the day is, if, say my name, you first, if your ex who you were still friends with got involved in a serious, happy relationship, would you, sir, be happy for her?
Yes, of course I will be happy for her. 'Cause now she's happy. I'm happy when you're happy. People please. I'm a
So
people
you
please.
would be happy genuinely for an ex.
I mean, yeah, I'll be happy, but of course I'll be sad inside. I'll be sad for myself because I lost a friend. If she's not gonna be able to talk to me no more, but I would definitely be happy for her.
Yeah. And if their significant other wasn't comfortable with you being friends, would you back off?
Yep, have many times. I did that many times.
You did that many times. Is that not like gut wrenching for you as someone who cares about that person and is still emotionally invested?
Uh, no, because when you think of a friend, I cannot talk to my best friends for 6, 7 years at a time, and then once we get together, it's a party. So once that relationship ends, I'll be right here.
I love that. I'm the same way with my besties, but I can't think of. I'll be honest with you. None of me and my besties, we ain't did the hibbity dibbity or got romantically involved. I tend to go with the rule of don't mix your romantic endeavors with friendships. But I'm not that evolved, y'all. I'm so base. I'm like, my friends are my friends. I ain't banging the homies.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Shanzilla? Would you be happy for an ex who moved on to find love while you were still friends?
Yeah, I'll be most definitely happy for them. Actually, there's two exes who got engaged. This is no cap. And they called me to make sure I didn't want to be with them before they actually did it to the next level. And I'm like, nah, bro, enjoy your
Wow.
life and treat. And I tell both of them the same thing. Treat her better than you've ever treated any chick in your life. And I'm happy for you. And that's when they hit the block list. You know what I'm saying? Especially when marriage is involved, engagements is involved. That's a totally different level. And I'm not coming in between that because I know I don't want to be with you. So I definitely only had to block two of them. But due to the I was happy for them and wanted them to actually succeed in their relationship. And I didn't want to be a burden in it. So I'm happily to walk away.
I love that for you. I will say my problem has been that other women are intimidated by me and the position I hold in their mind, spirits, and heart. But that's not a me thing. That's a you thing. Why are you talking to your current about your ex? That is weird. That is weird, especially now because even my daughter's 22 years old. Like you got no reason to talk to me. They don't have to deal with me at all. All right. Well, it is 7:01. That means we've been here for a whole hour with Vantage Point with Vixen 808. Say my name, Shinezilla. Now is your time to shine. Say anything you want to say about yourself, your feature show. Please make sure you favorite me, favorite Say My Name, favorite Shinezilla, favorite Emoji J, Mrs. Emoji J, everyone in the comments, and please favorite the gifters as well. Say my name. You're
Mm-hmm.
up. Tell us what you got going
So
on, baby.
I'm say my name. You can catch me streaming every random moment. I do my show, Celebrity Showdown. It's Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm an